Do you want to speak English naturally?
Okay, let's unpack this. Our digital lives, I mean, they've really grown from just being tools, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Into something much bigger, almost like a societal force that kind of consumes things around it, impacting us every day.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't even realize how much.
Right.
We're talking about the hidden costs, the downsides of being constantly plugged in, how these digital habits are shaping our time, our brains, our focus, even maybe deeper stuff.
Yeah, the spiritual side, too.
Exactly. And just to give you a sense of the scale here, get this. The average person spends 7 hours a day looking at screens.
7 hours. It's staggering when you actually stop and think about it.
It really is. So our mission in this deep dive is to explore, how and why these platforms are, well, so good at keeping you hooked, and what that really means for your life, your ability to concentrate, your future.
Exactly. And it's not just like a small annoyance, is it? Or some bad habit you can just shrug off.
No, not at all.
What we're looking at here is, well, it's a massive phenomenon. It's woven into modern life so deeply that it really needs some serious attention. When you start adding up that time, like you said, it becomes really clear that our lifespans, the actual time we have, are being seriously eaten into by this stuff. It's a huge issue, touching pretty much everything.
Yeah, and when we talk about this digital life, it almost feels predatory. Is that too strong a word?
I see what you mean.
It just seems to consume everything around it. It's not just a tool we use anymore, right? For so many people, it's like, it's there from the second they wake up.
Checking the phone before getting out of bed, yeah.
Right. Until the very last moment before they sleep.
Yeah.
It feels like it's just devoured huge chunks of our day, and maybe our focus along with it.
You've really hit on something crucial there. It's not just about individual choices anymore, is it? It's become the dominant way of life, the sort of the new normal. And because it's everywhere, the consequences spread out. They affect personal habits, sure, but also bigger things, societal norms, what we expect from each other, how we even act as a collective. We're really seeing a massive shift in how we engage with the world, with information, with each other, maybe most importantly. And because it's everywhere, it's really hard to just opt out. It feels more like a system level challenge now, not just something personal you need to fix.
Okay, let's go back to that number, the 7 hours. Because when you really dig into it, it puts things into a, well, frankly, an unsettling perspective. 7 hours a day, average, globally.
Yeah.
Now, I want you, listening right now, to really try and connect this to your life, your future. Let's do a quick calculation. It's pretty eye-opening.
Okay.
Let's say someone starts using a phone regularly at, say, 13. Which honestly feels pretty conservative these days, right? Kids are starting way younger.
Much younger, yeah.
And let's assume, again, maybe conservatively they live to be 63. That gives you 50 years of pretty consistent screen use.
50 years, okay.
Now, you take those 7 hours a day, every single day,
Yeah.
for 50 years. The result is, well, it's kind of mind-blowing. It adds up to 15 pure years of active screen time.
15 years?
Yeah. And let me be super clear what that means. That's not 15 years of your total lifespan, including sleeping, eating, working, basic stuff.
Right.
This is 15 years where you are actively looking at a screen, scrolling, watching, interacting, purely screen engagement time.
Wow. That's almost a quarter of that 50-year period just gone into a screen.
Exactly. Just try to picture that for a second. 15 years. What could you do with 15 years of dedicated time?
Learn languages.
Totally. Master an instrument, build something, write something.
Travel, connect deeply with people.
All of it. It's a massive chunk of your active life to just give away, often without even really thinking about it.
And it's so important to add like a bit more detail there because that 15-year figure, that's the average, right?
Right, the average.
For people who are maybe more deeply hooked, the ones we might call addicted, or just those who spend way more time than average on screens. For them, 15 years is just the starting point. The actual number could be much, much higher. Way more of their waking life just evaporated.
Yeah.
It's not just numbers, it's years of actual human experience, growth, connection, traded for screen time.
That 15 years is just, it's huge. Hard to wrap your head around. But the damage doesn't stop there, does it?
No.
It's maybe even more sneaky is how all this digital stuff messes with our ability to focus during the time we do have left, even when we put the phone down.
Exactly. It's like a double whammy.
Yeah. You lose the time itself, and the quality of the remaining time gets worse. It's not just about being distracted while you're scrolling, is it?
No, it's much deeper than that. We're really facing what you could call a terrifying crisis in our ability to just concentrate,
Yeah.
deeply concentrate. Research, observation, it all points the same way.
Right.
Our ability to sustain focus has plummeted. It's not just a feeling. You can measure it.
Okay.
The constant mental noise, the constant switching between things that digital life trains us for, you know, the fast pace, needing instant answers, the alerts.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't just vanish when you put the phone away. Our brains are literally being rewired.
Rewired. How so?
Well, it makes deep work, critical thinking, problem solving, basically anything that needs you to stick with it for a while, incredibly hard.
That's it.
So you see reduced productivity everywhere, at work, studying, creative projects, even just doing stuff around the house. That cognitive load, it just hangs around.
Wow.
It makes it harder to even start doing deep work. You make more mistakes. It even affects memory for stuff that isn't digital. Our minds get used to constant, shallow hits of information, making that quiet focus needed for real productivity feel almost painful.
Okay, so the time loss is huge. The focus erosion is real. But what about, the deeper parts of life? Personal growth, spiritual practice, quiet reflection. How does this constant digital buzz affect those things?
This is where we hit a really significant spiritual cost, a trade-off that many people don't fully see, I think.
Okay.
Take prayer, for example. The difficulty in just staying focused, achieving that sense of devotion, it becomes really noticeable and frustrating.
Yeah, I can imagine. Mind wandering.
Exactly. You start praying and boom, your mind is off thinking about a notification or an email. This mental fragmentation directly clashes with the ideal of kushu, that humility and deep presence in prayer, that state of being fully there.
Right.
And you might think about that question maybe on Judgment Day or just in your own quiet moments. Why didn't you really try to find devotion in your prayer? We often know our prayers lack focus, but years can go by without us really tackling it. We let the distraction win. And this connects so powerfully to that Quranic idea of praising those who turn away from idle talk law. That praise often comes right alongside praise for devotion and prayer.
Interesting connection.
It suggests that turning away from meaningless stuff, from shallow engagement, isn't just a side thing. It's actually part of cultivating real spiritual focus, inner quiet, and that connection to something higher.
So it raises a big question for the listener then.
Absolutely, directly to you listening. What are we sacrificing for what? What truly valuable things, deep growth, real relationships, a strong spiritual connection are we trading away for often just empty digital noise? It's a really crucial point to just pause and think about.
To really get how this affects us, we probably need to talk a bit about the brain itself, right? This amazing command center,
Yeah.
the executive function.
Yes, absolutely essential.
Those higher level skills that, run the show. Decision-making, planning, self-control,
Right.
all that stuff.
Exactly. They let us manage ourselves and navigate the world effectively. There are about 11 known executive functions, mostly handled by the frontal lobe, that part right behind your forehead.
Okay.
And one of those functions is incredibly relevant here, sustained attention.
Right, the ability to just focus.
Precisely. To stick with one task, one thought, for a decent amount of time, fighting off all the distractions. It's fundamental for learning, for achieving anything complex, really.
So how does this connect to screens? Especially for kids whose brains are still developing.
And that's the critical piece. Here's the insight that really changes things. That frontal lobe, the bit doing all that important executive function work,
Yeah.
it's not fully baked at birth.
Really?
Not even close. It's one of the last parts of the brain to fully mature. It grows and gets wired up gradually all through childhood, adolescence, even into the mid-20s. It's a long, slow, crucial process.
Wow, mid-20s, okay.
And that long development timeline is exactly where the problem lies in our super digital world. Yeah. There's a growing mountain of research showing that early and constant screen exposure, especially during those key developmental years, it causes a direct disruption.
Disruption how?
It interferes with the normal, healthy growth of the frontal lobe. Instead of building strong pathways for focus and control, its development gets hampered, altered, sometimes even stunted.
Stunted. That sounds serious.
It is, and this developmental disruption, it offers a really strong explanation for why we're seeing such a rise in things like ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and other related issues in kids.
Because the part of the brain responsible for focus is being messed with while it's trying to grow.
Exactly. The very control center for attention, impulse control, organization, its development is being compromised by all that early, constant digital input. We're seeing actual changes in brain structure, white matter, gray matter. It's literally rewiring them. and not in a good way.
Good grief.
Yeah.
So if it's that critical, are the big health organizations, like, sounding the alarm?
They absolutely are. You've got organizations like the World Health Organization, the WHO, putting out stronger warnings, tightening up guidelines on kids' screen time. It's seen as a global health issue now.
So what are they recommending?
Well, the recommendations are getting pretty specific. Some leading researchers are pushing for no phone use at all before age 14.
14? Wow.
Yeah.
The idea is to give that frontal lobe a fighting chance to develop properly without constant digital interference.
Makes sense.
And we're seeing practical responses, too, like these free phone schools popping up in some places abroad.
What are those?
Basically, kids hand in their phones. When they arrive at school, they get locked away, and they get them back at the end of the day. It creates an environment where they can actually focus on learning and, interacting face-to-face.
Huh. Interesting. It shows people are really starting to recognize the problem.
Definitely. There's a growing awareness that we need to actively protect kids' developing brains from this stuff.
Okay, so it's critical for kids because their brains are still under construction, essentially. But what about adults? Does the damage just stop once your brain is fully formed? Or do these digital habits keep causing problems?
That's a really important question. Because no, the impact definitely doesn't just stop. For adults, it shows up differently, but it's still destructive. This leads us to something people are talking about a lot now, the monkey mind.
Monkey mind. Okay, that sounds vivid and a bit worrying. What exactly is that?
It's a great analogy, actually. Think about a monkey, maybe in a forest or even a cage. It jumps around constantly, right? Branch to branch, bar to bar.
Yeah, restless.
Exactly. Often without a clear goal, just jumping for the sake of jumping or for that little bit of stimulation. It rarely settles on one thing for long.
Okay, I can picture that. How does it relate to us?
It's a mirror image of how we scroll through short-form content reels, TikTok, shorts, you name it. We jump from one quick video to the next, often with no real purpose.
Just killing time, maybe.
Pretty much. We're not usually looking for specific information or trying to achieve something. We're just seeking that immediate fleeting hit of entertainment, a little dopamine burst from something new.
Right. And what's the impact of doing that constantly?
Well, this monkey mind state means you can spend hours just cycling through stuff. You don't achieve anything meaningful, and crucially, you don't really retain much information either. You can scroll all evening, see hundreds of little clips, and then afterwards feel kind of empty, maybe even a bit anxious or regretful.
Yeah, I think people can relate to that feeling.
It's because nothing substantial was gained. No depth thought, no real connection, no lasting knowledge. Just like the monkey jumping all day and ending up nowhere, the brain gets conditioned to expect those rapid-fire hits, making it harder and harder to engage with anything that requires actual effort and offers a delayed reward.
So that constant jumping around is the monkey mind. But you mentioned it could lead to something worse, something called brain rot.
Yes, brain rot. It's a scary term, and the fact that it's becoming more recognized, even officially, tells you how serious this is.
What does it mean? Like literally rotting?
Well, it describes a state where the brain seems to lose some of its core functions. It deteriorates because of constant exposure to, low-quality, rapidly consumed digital content. It's not just feeling tired or unfocused. It suggests a real decline in abilities like critical thinking, memory, sustained attention.
Wow. And there's science behind this.
Increasingly, yes. Here's a key insight. That kind of digital content, short, infinite, without much purpose, is now being recognized by many researchers as acting like an addictive substance.
Addictive. Like drugs.
The mechanisms can be similar, yeah. It triggers reward pathways in the brain in a way that encourages compulsive use.
I think that's alarming.
And it gets even more so. Research is moving fast, and it's getting close to the point where the phone itself might be officially classified as addictive.
The device itself, not just the apps.
Potentially, yes. Meaning the symptoms we associate with substance addiction, withdrawal, craving, losing control, needing more for the same effect, using it despite negative consequences could apply directly to phone use.
That's heavy.
It is. And it's not just fringe talk. Oxford Dictionary actually named brain rot their word of the year in 2024.
No way.
Yeah, based on a big survey. It shows how much this idea is resonating with people, how widespread the concern is about this decline in mental sharpness. And again, the most problematic content tends to be that short, non-purposeful, and infinite kind.
You keep mentioning infinite. You talked about infinite scroll earlier. Can you break that down a bit more? Why is that specific feature so bad?
Sure. Infinite scroll is a really clever and frankly manipulative design feature. Think about older websites or Google results. They have pages, right?
Yep.
Page 1, page 2. Exactly. You have to actively click next to get more. And most people, funnily enough, rarely go past page 4 or 5 on Google. That click is a natural stopping point. Infinite scroll gets rid of that. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they just keep loading new stuff automatically as you scroll down, seamlessly, endlessly.
So there's no natural end.
Precisely. And that's psychologically powerful. It prevents you from feeling like you've finished anything. When you finish a page, your brain gets a little signal. Okay, unit complete, time to pause or stop. Infinite scroll removes that signal entirely. There's always more flowing in, another interesting post, another funny video. So you just keep going. It taps into our curiosity, our reward system, feeding us constant novelty.
Wow. So it's designed to bypass our natural stopping cues.
Absolutely. It's one of the main tools they use to keep you glued for longer, feeding right into that monkey mind and contributing to the brain rot effect over time. It's engineered to trap you in a loop.
It really feels like there's this huge, invisible machinery working behind the scenes, designing things to keep us hooked. Which brings us to this idea of the attention economy. What exactly is that? Why is our attention suddenly so valuable?
Well, in the digital age, your attention isn't just you paying attention. It's been turned into a resource, a commodity, something to be bought and sold.
A commodity, like oil or gold.
In a way, yes. Platforms, social media, streaming, news sites, they're all fighting tooth and nail to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible.
And why do they want it so badly?
It's simple. Money. The more time you spend on their platform, the more valuable you are to them, because more time means more opportunities to show you ads.
Oh, the ads.
Exactly. That's the engine. And the scale is just immense. Think about this. In 2023, digital advertising spending globally went over $800 billion.
$800 billion.
Billion, with a B. That colossal amount of money is what drives everything. Every design choice, every algorithm, every notification. It's all optimized to maximize the time you spend looking, clicking, engaging. Your attention is literally funding this massive industry.
That number just puts everything in perspective.
Yeah.
Nearly $1 trillion riding on keeping us scrolling. So, okay, if our attention is worth that much, what does it mean for us? How sophisticated are they getting at keeping us hooked beyond just infinite scroll?
Oh, incredibly sophisticated, and getting more so all the time. We talked about infinite scroll, that's foundational, removing the stop signal. But the other huge one is hyper-personalized content through micro-tracking.
Micro-tracking. What's that?
It goes way beyond just tracking what you click or like. They use AI now to detect really subtle things. Like if you just pause your scroll over a post for maybe 3 or 4 seconds,
Yep.
even if you don't click anything.
They track the pauses.
They can, yeah. And they analyze that pause instantly. What was that post about? What colors were in the image? What kind of video was it? And that tiny bit of data gets fed straight back into the algorithm. It learns your unconscious interests, the things you linger on without even realizing it.
So they learn what you like even if you don't tell them.
Exactly. And they use that to show you more stuff just like it, making your feed incredibly personalized, almost irresistible. It becomes this echo chamber tailored perfectly to your subconscious fleeting interests, making it super hard to look away. It's like they're reading your mind to keep you engaged.
That's kind of creepy, actually.
It is. And then layer on things like variable reward schedules, like a slot machine. You never know when the next great post will appear, so you keep checking. And social validation loops, chasing likes and comments, it all works together.
Okay, this is sounding pretty intense. But you mentioned something even more terrifying earlier, that platforms are actively trying to steal time we should be sleeping. That feels like crossing a major line.
It absolutely does feel like that. But from their cold economic viewpoint, sleep is downtime. When you're asleep, you're not clicking, you're not watching ads, you're not generating data, you're unprofitable.
So they want to minimize our sleep.
They have a strong financial incentive to do so, yeah.
Yeah.
To push your screen time into those late night hours.
How do they do that?
Various ways. Some are subtle, like TikTok encouraging creators to do live streams late at night. They might offer them special features or better visibility.
And live streams disappear, right? So you feel like you have to watch it then or miss out.
Exactly. That FOMO, fear of missing out, is powerful. It keeps people up. Then there's the blue light from screens itself, which messes with your sleep hormones.
And melatonin?
Yeah. And notifications timed for late at night. Features like streaks on Snapchat that pressure you to interact daily, even if it's late.
So what's the result for us, the users?
The direct result is widespread lack of sleeping, chronic sleep deprivation. People are staying up later, sacrificing rest. You see it physically, red eyes, feeling tired all the time, struggling the next day at work or school.
Mhm.
And it's not just about attention anymore. They're integrating shopping directly, like TikTok shop, trying to become your everything all the time, consuming every available minute, even the ones your body desperately needs for rest. It's a massive public health issue brewing.
Okay, this all sounds pretty bleak, honestly. Like we're just puppets in this giant attention machine. But I bet some listeners are thinking, hang on, but I kind of enjoy it. It feels relaxing sometimes. My life isn't falling apart. Do I really need to change? Is there a genuine pleasure there that makes it hard to stop?
That's a really fair question, and the honest answer is yes. Of course there's pleasure. That digital engagement, scrolling, watching, it delivers an incredibly easy source of dopamine.
Dopamine, that pleasure chemical.
Right, the neurotransmitter linked to reward, motivation, feeling good, and these platforms are masters at delivering quick, easy hits of it.
So it feels good in the moment.
It does. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine you want that dopamine rush, that feeling of satisfaction. You've got two options. Option one, go run 2 kilometers, push yourself, feel the effort, get that earned sense of accomplishment and the dopamine that comes with it.
Okay, hard work.
Option two, sit back in a comfy chair, maybe with the AC on, and just scroll on your phone for 3 minutes, which also gives you a quick, easy dopamine hit. The second one sounds a lot easier.
Exactly. In the moment, the easy path, the instant gratification is often the most appealing.
But there's a catch.
There's a huge catch. While it's easy, that short-circuited dopamine comes at a massive cost. See, the original point of dopamine, evolutionarily speaking, was to reward actions that actually help us grow, survive, achieve things that benefit us in the long run, either in this life or, for people of faith, maybe the next.
So it's meant to reward meaningful effort.
Pretty much. This easy dopamine bypasses all that. You get the reward without the real work, the pleasure without the purpose. And it really reminds me of that quote from Umar ibn al-Khattab.
Oh, yeah.
He said something like, "I dislike to see a man idly passing his time, doing nothing for his worldly affairs nor his afterlife."
And so much of our digital activity, unfortunately, leaves us right there, in that idle state, feeling maybe momentarily pleased, but ultimately unproductive, not contributing to our real goals, whether worldly or spiritual. It makes us dependent on outside stuff for happiness instead of finding it through our own efforts.
Listening to all this.
Yeah.
The brain changes in kids, the monkey mind, the brain rot, the addictive design. It can feel really hopeless. Like this digital lifestyle is just baked in now. Is there actually any hope for changing it, or are we just stuck?
No, absolutely not. It is not a lost cause. That feeling of hopelessness is understandable when something feels so big, so ingrained, like a lifestyle.
Yeah, like it's just how things are now.
But a lifestyle, even a really pervasive one like this, can be changed. It takes effort, for sure. It takes conscious decision-making, maybe changing your environment, building new habits, but it is absolutely possible.
So what's the key then?
Well, the key is empowerment. Recognizing the problem, understanding why it's happening, and then actively deciding to do something about it. For people of faith, this involves seeking Allah's help and not giving up.
Right.
It's not just a technical problem needing a technical fix. Faith can provide enormous strength, a moral compass, a deep motivation to push back against these distractions.
So faith offers stronger reasons to change.
I think so, yes. Our principles, our values, they give us profound reasons to value our time, our focus, our connection to what's truly important. Islamic teachings, for example, already have so much wisdom about dealing with distraction, cultivating presence, finding peace. These are resources we can draw on.
Right.
The point is, there is hope. The power to change is within you. It starts with choosing differently, moment by moment, and remembering, as many scholars say, that digital distraction is considered one of the greatest obstacles on your path to God. It's a powerful motivator right there. It means setting boundaries, practicing focus through things like prayer or mindfulness, maybe even doing digital detoxes. It's an act of striving. Hashtag outro.
Wow. What a deep dive that was. We've really unpacked some pretty heavy stuff today, haven't we?
We certainly have. It's a lot to take in.
From that staggering 15 years of lost time to the impact on kids' brains, that monkey mind and brain rot in adults, and understanding the sheer power of this multi-billion-dollar attention economy working behind the scenes. The whole point of this deep dive was really to give you, the listener, The insights to understand why things like focus and productivity might feel so much harder these days, why time feels so broken up, to show you what's really going on.
And as you think about all this, maybe let this final thought stick with you. Consider this. Every single time you pick up that phone, every time you mindlessly scroll, check a notification, you're not just doing your own thing.
Right.
You are actively participating in this huge industry designed specifically to capture and sell your most valuable non-renewable resources, your attention, and your limited precious time. So given everything we've talked about, the cost to your focus, your spirit, your brain, your ability to engage deeply with life, what is the true hidden cost of not choosing where your attention goes? What are you really giving up moment by moment for that quick, easy, fleeting dopamine hit?
That's the question to sit with.
It really is. We hope this conversation sparks that continued awareness, that critical thinking as you navigate your own